Here with reaction, Fox News contributor Ari Fleischer and the founder of the Committee to Unleash Prosperity, Steve Moore. Steve, $17 billion in new taxes for people making under $200,000 a year. The people that said don't raise taxes during a recession, that would have been Manchin, Obama, and Pelosi. We have them on tape. We played it before. A lot of pork in this bill, a lot of it related to the Green New Deal. And we're nearly up to $4 trillion in new debt under Biden in only 18 months. That's got to be a new record.
Yeah, it is, Sean, and you did a great job of summarizing this bill. I just want to amplify one thing that you said, which is the state that is the biggest loser here from this massive green energy agenda is clearly West Virginia. I do not understand why Joe Manchin sold out his own state. He thinks somehow this is going to lead to more coal and oil and gas production. Are you kidding me? With the EPA and the Interior Department of Joe Biden, who wants to kill those industries, that ain't going to happen. And so you're looking at, this is the fourth major bill, as you just said, that massively increases the amount of green energy funding. I calculate almost $500 billion into this green energy for electric vehicles, for windmills, for solar panels. You know, Sean, we get about 6 or 7% of our energy from wind and solar power. It's completely insignificant. And this will hurt our oil and gas industry. It's going to give all this money to the climate change industrial complex. And one other thing you left out, Sean, don't forget the other big pay for in this bill is these price controls on the drug industry. How are we going to have things like Operation Warp Speed? How are we going to win the race for the cure for Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and cancer and ALS and Lou Gehrig's disease if we're taking money out of an industry that saves lives? I don't get it.
You know, Ari, from a political point of view, Newt Gingrich had a good point. He's challenging every Republican running in every office for the House or Senate to go back and challenge their opponents to debate just on this bill alone. I think that would be a good opportunity to get this out before people, especially during the August recess. But that's also going to mean that Republican senators will have to use parliamentary maneuvers to keep this thing afloat through the vacation. I hope they do that.
Yeah, I don't see how this is a political winner for the Democrats unless they're counting on the left-wing base of the Democrat Party that just thinks the world's going to end in 12 years, or now I guess we're down to 10 or 8. For them to no longer sit on their hands and get out to vote because of all the hundreds of billions of subsidies that are going to causes that I suppose they support. But the bigger damage, too, is this bill really should be named the Raise Taxes and Push the Economy Deeper into Recession Act. I have never in my entire career heard of somebody who thinks it's good public policy to raise taxes here as the nation is entering a recession. That prolongs recessions. That doesn't stimulate the economy. That doesn't give you the help that you need. It makes things worse. And why? For really what's essentially corporate welfare. This is a gigantic spending bill to give money to green corporate welfare. And that's what so much of the green industry has grown up into. Without subsidies, they would never be competitive, would never exist. And the more subsidies you give them, the more they're just hooked on government. And that's what this bill does. And Joe Manchin, a moderate? No, he's a mini Green New Dealer.
Is there any chance, exit question for both of you, any chance, Steve Moore, that Kristen Sinema says no? I don't believe it's possible.
Look, I think she could be Wonder Woman here. I think she can save our country. I'm praying that she stops this horrible bill. She would be a hero, Sean, in the state of Arizona if she just said no to this bill. It's bad for Arizona, by the way. Arizona, it kills manufacturing, and Arizona is a major manufacturing state. So let's hope that Kristen Sinema. It's amazing, by the way. There's 250 Democrats in Congress, and only one of them is opposed to this horrible bill.
Yeah. Ari, what do you think? Does Kristen Sinema go along with the 49 colleagues or stand up for the people of Arizona?
Nobody knows. I think her silence right now is telling. That would make me think that she's leaning on the no side. But the mirror image of John McCain, the senator from Arizona, who famously put his thumb down to kill the repeal of Obamacare and vote with the Democrats, was a hero for doing it. and Kristen Sinema, who now represents Arizona, having the chance to come in and do the same thing on this recession-causing Green New Deal corporate subsidy bill. The parallel is ironic.
I'll believe it if I see it. I'll put it that way. Count me as a skeptic. All right, Ari, thank you. Steve, thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.